Hello everybody, how are we all today?
Good morning, it's a wet morning.
It is, it's a little bit wet this morning, but yesterday we was absolutely baking. Baking it was.
It was, but we managed to get my car fixed.
Yes, Catherine's car is all fixed.
You now drives like a new car again.
It is, so we thought we'd do a bit of a different video today rather than just vlogging what we do. We're doing a few Q&A questions we often get asked. We've got a lot of new subscribers lately, so a lot of people won't know a bit about us if they've not watched all the videos. So we're doing a little Q&A today, so we can just sit in the van and do it.
Yeah.
My back's a lot better today, if anybody's wondering, but yeah. A few
Nobody's bothered, are they?
Yeah, well no, nobody's probably not that bothered, but questions that we get asked quite a lot. So we thought we'd come on and do another little update on questions. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave them down below.
Yeah, so that we can keep tabs on it, and then next time we do a Q&A, we can, you know, put your questions in there and get you an answer across. So
we've been in this van over 400 days. So a question we get asked a lot is, what's it like living in a van?
It's no different to living in a house, really. Other than you can park it where you like and your garden's where you choose.
Yes, I guess living in a van is, for a long time, I've said this before, it was like a holiday. It
was a holiday for a long time.
And it still does feel like that.
Sometimes
like
it does.
We're going on holiday, like we've got a trip coming up to Ireland soon, so it feels like we're going on a holiday.
We are going on holiday.
Probably spend about, we're going on holiday.
Going on holiday.
We'll probably spend about 2 months doing that, so it'll be like a 2-month holiday. So yes, living in a van is a bit like being on holiday.
I think a space can be a bit of an issue sometimes. And you do sort of... I suppose it's relative to in a house. You still get on top of each other when if you've got a really rainy day and you can't get out and do anything, you tend to get under each other's feet a bit, don't you? But you've got to tackle that as and when it comes up. You know,
the best way to describe the spaces is in the difference between being in a house and being in a van is when you're in a van and one of you goes for a number 2.
The rest of you have to vacate the area.
The rest of you all smell it. That's the difference of being in a van to being in a house. Yeah. Anything you do is noted by everybody else around you in a van.
You can't do anything without anybody knowing, can you?
Yes, and we know what you're all thinking and we're not on about that. But yeah, that is probably another thing. Living in a van, very small proximity to each other. So yeah, space. Space. I guess what it does teach you is not to buy loads of rubbish.
Yes.
Because we're having a van, you know you can't keep buying rubbish.
Well, you've not got the space for it, have you? That's, you know, you've not got the storage, the cupboard room, anything. So it kind of cuts down on, you've got to, if you want to buy something, you've got to really think about how much you really need it, how much you're going to use it, and where exactly it's going to live. Yes,
so living in a van has kind of stopped, especially me, going on Amazon and just buying loads of crap. Yes, well, you'd probably say, well, you still buy bits of crap. Yeah, we probably do, but it does cut down a lot of the crap buying because,
it does.
You know, you go into your own bargains, into your B&M and you see all the little trinkety stuff, bits and pieces, and you end up buying loads for your windowsills.
As Zach says, take your shopping bags, Mum.
So yeah, space is, probably, but like I say, living in a van, it's almost like being on holiday all the time.
It is, yeah.
But obviously, it can get stressful.
Oh, it can. It can, very much so. I think which kind of leads us on to the next one, doesn't it? Of finding parking places, park-ups and...
No, that's not the next question.
Well, they don't have to be in order.
They lead into each other.
Well, this leads into being stressful when you can't find park-ups. And...
No, the next question leads into what you're doing at the minute.
Waffling.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is what this kind of leads into, what was just happening then. Do we get on each other's nerves?
Yes.
Yes. And
we do.
This accounts to all 3 of us.
Yep.
Zach, Catherine and me.
Because obviously Zach's or more or less an adult now, you know. Yeah.
Do we get on each other's nerves? Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Do we get on each other's nerves as much as in a house? Probably yes.
I would say so. I think for different reasons though. I think when we were in the house, we were tired, we were stressed, you're stuck in that rut, aren't you? That cycle. You come home, you have a shower, you have your tea, you're tired, you watch a couple of hours of telly, you go to bed, you get up, you go to work. It gets tiring, it gets stressful, and you kind of start biting at each other a bit. And
the difference is now we work together.
We work better as a team now. We're doing this.
We work together, as in when we was in a house, obviously I'll go to work all day. So then you get a break from each other. So now we obviously work together. So I think you learn to adapt a little bit more than when you're in a house and you actually have to go out to work, because that's just getting away from each other.
Yeah, I think the way we sort of tend to deal with it is we go out for a walk.
I think sometimes
you can clear your head a bit by doing that.
Sometimes you've just got to agree to disagree and move on, because life is too short to fall out over stupid things like, you know, have we not got a bin bag? There's a crisp packet there, you know, it's been there all bleeding day.
Yeah.
It's just little things, isn't it? But yeah, you do get on each other's nerves, because you're in a small confined space.
And you have got to learn how to control that, you know, that feeling of being cross with each other, and you've got to learn how to deal with it in the best way, because you can't let all guns go in a motorhome when you disagree with something. You just can't do it.
And that's why sometimes we go out, Zach to give him his space. Vice versa.
And vice versa for Zach, for his own space as well. Obviously he can't take himself off out on his own, so we go out, give him space in here on his own, because that's the safest way to do it.
So yeah, it's another thing with van life, or living in a van, living in a motorhome, off-grid in a motorhome, whatever you want to call it, is obviously space. And space leads into getting on each other's nerves, living in a van, being able to buy things.
Grey. I am honest.
You see, another difference with living in a van is you haven't got to go out and buy new furniture, because it's all part of the van. So I guess it's a cheaper way of living, but it can be also an expensive way of living. Well,
it can. It's how you make it. Similar to a lot of things, isn't it? It's, you know, it's like at the minute we're trying not to travel to save on fuel.
Yes.
Because we're trying to save as much as we can to go to Ireland to spend.
So we can do
while we're over there.
more in Ireland.
Yeah. So we're tending to, like, now we're in our secret location, and we're staying put like we did in Derby with the van.
Yes.
And just using the car to bob about, because the car's obviously extremely cheap to run.
Because from where we are here, the Peak District or the Skeggy Coast or the Caton Bay,
it's not far, is it?
They're all within a couple of hours, so we can go to all them. But we've done them all quite a bit lately, so it's like we'll come back here.
You can overdo things, can't you? And we try not to do that.
We're wanting to do, more and more things. So Ireland will be one big trip. It will be at least a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. We do not know how long we will spend in Ireland, but we'll try and spend as much time and do as much as we can, depending on funds. So that's another reason to stay here. Although we're getting very low on gas at the minute, it's like we've got half a bottle, and it's like we've got another 2 weeks. I don't think half a bottle's going to last, so we're hoping that we can stretch the gas situation out, because we couldn't go and get it, but it's going to be a 2-hour round trip to fetch it from here nearly.
We can't get it anywhere local here, so that's the trouble. I'm
hoping when we head up to Stranraer to get the ferry, we can get gas on the way. So we're going to try and be a bit frugal, not fruitful, frugal with it, and make it last another 2 weeks hopefully. So the van we're in, is a 2007 Berstner Argos, 9 metres long, tag axle, 5 tonne. Will we change the van?
Never say never.
We will.
I think that's all I can say. Never say never.
We definitely will, and every time
we will at some point.
Every time we look, we see something nicer.
I know. But I'd always been against the A-Class, hadn't I? Because I'd always got something about, with the A-Class, they've got that big open, like, dashboard at the front. And to me, it's not right, and it doesn't feel right having all that space at the front, yet you're sat back in like an armchair, but you're in control of the vehicle. That's just my take on it. But the more and more people I've seen with these beautiful A-Class vans, I'm actually thinking now that, wow,
well, it's the
I would like to go
space.
down that route. It is. This is it. It gives you that extra 6 or 8 foot, doesn't it, at least, of usable space.
And when we're sat in our friends Russ and Keeler's,
that van's gorgeous.
If you're sat here, as you know, our van, it's got this wooden thing just here behind the
shut
camera.
The front off.
Shut the front off. We can sit in the front, but it's like another room. Whereas an A-Class, you've got that big panoramic view all the way around. So when they came up to Caton Bay and they parked there, and we were sat in it looking at it, it's like you can look. You've got the little pillars here. We've got 2 leases of wood.
I mean, you can barely
and a
see
little
anything
view
forwards,
in the middle.
Yeah.
So we would get an A-Class, but then we thought, obviously we can't afford to change it for a lot newer one at the minute.
Yeah.
So we're kind of wondering, what Zach will do in later life. Do we wait till then? Something might come up.
I think it's a case of always having his eyes open, isn't it, to what's about. and if the right thing came up and we really, I mean, it's a bit like some of you will probably have seen we'd mentioned a static last month, didn't we, or a good few weeks back, you know, and we both really sat and thought and weighed it all up, pros, cons, expenses, that sort of thing. And I think if something feels right and you can afford it, then I think it's, you know, but it's a big expense, isn't it? If you're unsure.
Well, it is, but a newer van, some we've been looking at, probably £80,000 to £100,000. We're not going to get back what we paid for this.
Oh God, no.
So we haven't got the money to do it at the minute anyway. So.
No, not at the minute, no. But do you know one thing that I don't like about this van? I mean, I love the van in general, I do, because we wouldn't have it otherwise. It's all the wood. The dark colour. I know you can get wraps and vinyls and all that sort of thing.
Decorate it. Paul and Corinne have just done theirs from Reds Go Travel.
They have,
so,
but the amount of wood in here would take a hell of an amount of time.
Yeah, but theirs was like this.
Yeah.
Theirs was like this. We could do it.
We could do it, but that's one thing to me. This van always seems a little bit dark because of the wood. But, so I think the next one we get would be a lighter, a creamy. You know, it's all about like.
Well, the newer ones are
the room, the daylight.
It's getting that ultimate layout. We've seen some really good ones.
God,
what were the ones we've seen not long ago? Because we was looking at the Burstners, the Elegances, which we really like, but there was another model. So yeah, can't remember where it was now. We did, you know, we have thought about changing.
Well, at the minute, no, because finances don't allow it at the minute.
No,
and we're just not in a position to change it at the minute.
To be fair, for us to get something quite a bit better. With the money we've got in this as well, we're going to need probably £80,000.
Yeah.
Now the money you get off YouTube isn't enough to. We're trying to save a little bit each month. We're just managing to put a little bit in savings, but obviously now we're going to Ireland, we won't be saving any money.
No.
The money we get off of.
But that's why we've been saving it, though, isn't
revenue.
it? We've been saving it for that reason. So when we come back, we'll start again.
So, YouTube's not the best paid job in the world, but it is allowing us to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And
live the life the way we want to live it.
And this is why we started doing Vanlife, because of that whole 2 weeks holiday, 3 weeks holiday through work.
You slog your guts out all year round, don't you, for a couple of weeks break per year. And, you know, when you get to a sort of a particular age, you just start really thinking about things and thinking, is that all I'm worth, a couple of weeks holiday? Out of the year for working 10, 12 hours a day, some of you, 14 hours even, depending on what job you're in, you know, just to get a couple of weeks reward for it. Is it really worth it? We didn't think so.
So I guess that brings us on to another question. What does the future hold? Will you do this when you're old? Will you carry on doing this? What will you do?
You can't see into the future.
We can't see into the future, but at this moment in time, we really enjoy doing what we're doing. And for us to go back to get a house now, we'd have to both get full-time jobs because YouTube wouldn't pay enough money for that.
Oh God, no.
And people would probably stop watching because they don't see us travelling.
We would lose the YouTube channel if we did that, I think, wouldn't we?
Pretty much, I would think we would lose the channel. So at the moment, no, we really enjoy doing what we're doing. I think we're getting better at it. We've
seen so much of the world, haven't we, that we never ever thought we'd see.
We've seen a little proportion. There's so much more.
So much more to us. You know, that we never ever thought we would ever get to see it in the way we've seen it, the time we've had to explore and, you know, just dot here, there and everywhere instead of driving to a destination, having a few days. And, you know, it's been incredible, hasn't it, really? It has.
There is a lot more to see.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like I say, what the future holds, we don't know. We're going to carry on doing this. I know we've talked about a static, we've talked about a seasonal pitch. I don't think we're set on anything yet. Cause
we're not set on anything yet.
Nothing just seems quite right.
We've got to agree on finding that fine line of balance, haven't we?
I think while you're travelling, when we first set off on our journey, we went around Scotland, so that was a big thing. Then we got a wedding, two weddings
to
go to, so we planned them around it. Then we did, we had a couple of shows, then we did the Spain trip, so we got something all the time. Where we know what we're happening. This year we sort of like,
We've been in limbo a bit this year, haven't we?
We've kind of gone
in between things, yeah.
like this, and it's just like nothing's really flowed until now, when we're going to head to Ireland, obviously, next. So up round to Ireland, then we'll probably do a bit more of Scotland. We're going to try and plan on having Christmas around family this year. Yep. And then maybe head out somewhere after that. So while you've got plans going like that, a static base we don't really need. So
well, it's to be a waste of money.
The cost of it, I know you've all said it and commented about the static caravan situation. We'll keep going back onto that. Yeah, so like I say, what the future holds, we don't know. We want to just keep visiting as many places as we can while it's still brilliant. I mean, without your guys' support, we wouldn't be able to do it.
No,
so we do want to thank each and every one of you because you're all amazing. And all the new people that don't know much about us, hopefully this video will give us a little bit more of an insight in where we're going, where we're heading with everything. It's like, what does the future hold? I don't know.
Nobody knows, do they? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
You can say what you want it to hold, but you can't say much more than that.
No point planning that far ahead. We don't even plan what we're doing today. Or tomorrow. So, everybody knows
in true us style.
We're like, well, hang on a minute, 1 minute we're there, next minute we're there, and it's just like we're looking at different... I'm always looking on my phone at other countries. I tell you what, I was looking at some in Slovenia earlier, some campsites. Wow, some beautiful ones. There's so many beautiful countries out there to explore, and there's so much of Britain to explore still for us.
Go on, what's your favourite one so far? Country you've been to?
We haven't been to that many, so...
I know.
We haven't really been to that many, so...
Mine's got to be Switzerland.
No, mine would probably be Germany.
Mine would be Switzerland first, Germany
lots
second.
Lots of favourite ones, to be fair. I love the Netherlands, I love Belgium.
I know.
I love France, to be fair.
Yeah.
I love Scotland. I love them all, to be honest. There's not one I ain't been to and thought, I don't like that.
Oh no, I haven't either.
I love them all. They've all been brilliant. But what does the future hold? We don't know.
No idea.
But we're going to keep doing this for as long as we can.
Yep.
So that kind of leads us into another question. Where would we ultimately like to go in the van?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. You see, I love Belgium for its architecture. So I would always say I'd go back to Belgium any day. A
place we have kind of been looking at this last week or two, we've known about it for a little while, is Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Wow, some of the architecture and some of the old buildings, the old town places and stuff like that in Bulgaria look absolutely amazing.
Oh God, they do.
Now Bulgaria is a fair way away.
Crikey, it
You've
is.
got to cross through places like Croatia, Serbia to get there.
It's a hell of a long way.
Never say never, but I would love to go there. Slovakia, Austria, I want to go to Austria. Prague, I'd love to go to Prague.
I'd like to go to Prague.
Some of these countries are a bit more expensive than others. Obviously, if you go to Bulgaria, you can do a massive budget. Albania, which isn't too far away from there as well. Albania is probably... there's so many beautiful places.
I think probably the only way for us to do countries like that would be bobbing in and out of Schengen areas and not just going for 90 days and trying to do it all. You'd have to bob in and out while you were there and sort of span your time a bit.
That could be like one big trip, like a 6-month trip maybe. Hang on, I'm just putting my slippers back on, my feet are getting cold. It's a bit chilly this morning compared to what it has been, but some people look and want to go on these massive adventures and they look at places like Australia, New Zealand, China, Tokyo, and I'd love to visit all these places, but they don't jump out at me and say I need to get to Australia, although I'd love to go to Australia. Taking this van to Australia is probably just going to be
no.
It's a no, isn't it? It's just
you do have a friend that lives out there, don't you?
The cost involved, there's I suppose there's so many places. I mean, you could probably drive to
the
like
world
China.
Is your lobster, isn't it?
Yeah, as Del Boy would say, the world is your lobster.
Yep.
Ultimately we'd like to go. People often say, you think about doing Morocco.
Morocco doesn't appeal to me.
Itchy nose is coming.
Here he goes, he's started.
Yeah,
Morocco's never appealed to me. I think 1, because it's too hot. 2, it's too much sort of like a deserty style place, isn't it? And I think 3, the other thing is boo.
The one thing,
it's a lot on boo to go over there.
Yeah, with all these tests you have to have, and he's getting on a bit. But one thing I do like about Morocco, what I've seen, is these campsites with swimming pools for a tenner a night. Yes, I'd have some of that.
Yeah,
definitely. But because Boo's getting on a bit, I don't want to be dragging him. Well, I suppose he'd be all right, but
I don't want to put him through all them stupid blood tests. And
it's the more these tests they have to do to be able to go out there.
But then it's like a month's wait after the blood's into it, and if they come back borderline or inconclusive, you've got to have them done again. It's another month's wait.
But yeah, going back onto the subject of where would you ultimately like to go, a place I've always wanted to go all my life is Tenerife.
Yes.
And
you have.
Some friends who watch the channel, Marcus and Mandy, they go to Tenerife in their van.
Yeah, they do.
And they were telling me about how much your campsites was. I'm like, oh. She's like, oh no, we're not going to Tenerife.
Nah, it's too far for me.
Because you need 2 ferries. You need to get across to Spain, then get the Spanish ferry across there, which is quite a long ferry.
It's about 40 odd hours, isn't it?
About 40 hours, I think. It's a long ferry. I would like to do Tenerife, maybe one day on a plane.
Yes.
But yeah, that's somewhere I'd ultimately like to go.
We've also said we'd like to go back to Benidorm, wouldn't we?
Oh yeah, I'd love to go back to Benidorm.
For a bit of a, drive over there, stay in Benidorm, hire a car, but stay in one place and drive around by car and have one holiday based in Benidorm with the van.
Yes, that'll be coming up.
I think that's
one day.
Yeah.
It will. Also like to do a lot of Normandy as well for the history across Normandy.
Yet.
No, that might be.
I think might
well,
be.
It will be another adventure.
It will be, but I'd quite like to sort of look at that in the new year.
Benidorm's definitely going to be an adventure. I don't know when. Normandy's definitely going to be another adventure.
Yeah.
And all the others are definitely going to be an adventure one day. Don't know. But yeah, ultimately, I've always wanted to go to Tenerife.
Sorry, I've got a funny ear this morning. It keeps going deaf on me and ringing.
Yeah, so ultimately, where would you like to go? If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? Because mine's obviously Tenerife.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking.
Oh, me? I thought you were asking everybody out there.
Well, you can let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Where your ultimate place is. And
where would your ultimate goal be for a holiday?
And is it something that we've inspired you to? Because I know some people go to the places we've been because they've watched our videos. But where would you like to go?
Me?
Anywhere in the world, where would you go? If you could
Maldives.
Choose. Maldives?
For 30 odd years, I've always wanted to go to the Maldives.
I don't even know where it is. I've heard of it, but I couldn't even tell you where it is without looking it up. Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah. There's always these places you look at and want to go. Benidorm was one of them for me, but Tenerife ultimately since I was little and used to get the go down to estate agents and get the big catalogue and look through it and dream.
No, mine was Ibiza doing that. And I always wanted to go to Ibiza.
And never,
Then I got a bit old for that.
Yeah, you're a bit old for that, but yeah.
Cheers, pal.
I'm just having a quick look through any of our questions. I think that a lot of them we've been over before, but we get asked things like, how do you find your park-ups? That's another good one actually, because some people lately have said you find some absolutely amazing park-ups. How do you find these? And we find them because of other people.
We do, yeah, we do.
On the main 2 apps is Search for Sites or Park for Nights. Probably more Search for Sites.
More Search for Sites, I think now. We started off, I think, more Park for Nights, didn't we? But we have sort of led to more Search for Sites. That's our go-to.
Yes, we go to Search for Sites first. If we cannot find something in the area we want to stop in, then we will look at Park for Nights.
Yeah. I mean, they're both pretty good, aren't they? We pay the subscription for them both every year because we do go to both of them. But I think Search for Sites is possibly a slightly better one at the minute.
I always say Search for Sites is a bit better than Park for Nights, in my personal opinion.
Yes, everybody has their own opinion.
I said about Park for Nights, like Park for Days. There are lots of parking places on there where you can't park at night. Obviously, parking at night in the UK is harder than it is anywhere else.
But it is, but the app is called Park for Nights. But I would say 65% of the park-ups on there now states daytime parking only. Well, that's no use to people. It's
no use to some people. It is used to people, but not to everybody.
No.
Sometimes we just want to park in an area to go and explore it for the day. Typical example. But what they are good for, these apps, and I'll tell you what they are absolutely brilliant for. I was looking last night at planning where we're going to go. When we get to Belfast, there is a little stop not far away where castle and everything looks absolutely, something in with sea, I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
Looks absolutely amazing. Read through the comments, boy races all night long, every comment. So yeah, brilliant. We can stop there, look round, but we ain't sleeping there.
No.
So then you look up the coast, find another one, look at the reviews.
This is the other good side to these parking apps, isn't it? Because you wherever you decide, you look at it, you think, oh, that looks amazing. Read the comments.
Read the comments.
Always read the comments.
If there's one bad comment, We don't let it put us off.
No.
If there's only one comment or nobody's commented for years, we don't let it put us off.
No.
But if there's loads of bad comments
we avoid.
recently,
Yeah.
avoid it like the plague.
Absolutely.
Avoid it like the plague. So yeah, finding park-ups is, I think with these apps, is relatively easy nowadays. I think in the old days, where proper van life is what I'd call a proper van lifer who, you know, have gone into it through different circumstances. They've had to find all these, and then people just jump on the bandwagon now and chuck them in all over. So there's no real secret locations. Everybody seems to know where they all are now because of the apps, which is sometimes a good thing. But then it's sometimes a bad thing because places get overrun.
They do. They do. I mean, that's a bit like, just very quickly onto the subject of Caton Bay, isn't it?
Caton Bay and Scarborough.
Yeah, they are now putting up, well, it's going to be decided on the 9th of August, which is about when this will go out, isn't it? Roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether they're going to trial an 18-month overnight parking ban all the way from Caton Bay up to the far side of Scarborough.
And ban people from camping there because of...
because of a minority.
Various reasons. Yeah, because of various reasons. Some people say... I've seen it on Facebook this morning about up at Scarborough. Some people saying it looks like a refugee camp, so people have got washing lines out.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You can see why that would annoy people.
I think 95% that go there, you know, don't spoil it.
No.
But there's always that 5%. No. It just happens everywhere. I think Scarborough just need to be very, very careful how they approach it, and maybe go along the lines of making an area dedicated to motorhomes.
Yeah, because there's
maximum stay 2 nights.
Yeah, they've spent all that money putting the thing in on the Marine Drive, haven't they, with the L-SAM point and everything.
But I think they need to limit it so people only stay for 2 nights, so people don't move in there.
Have some sort of like parking cameras at each end, so they can, you know, you'll be on a 48-hour timer. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I would say just live and let live, and just let them all stop there. But they ain't going to do that. If people keep complaining, they're going to bring in restrictions regardless.
They are. And like say, it's that minority that are spoiling it for those genuine ones.
It always will be a minority. So maybe they ought to dedicate a part for motorhomes. Maybe put a small charging overnight for a motorhome.
Yeah.
Do what they do abroad. Limit it so you can only stay for say 48 hours, or some are 3 days, some are 1 day, something like that. I don't know, but. Yeah, I see it on the thing. Obviously, we like it up at Caton Bay. We haven't been for a while, actually.
We haven't been for a while. Can't do everything, though.
No, we can't do everything. But yeah, it's so sometimes parking can be a little bit difficult in this. What's that noise? Quad bike.
So something noisy coming down road.
So another thing we get asked quite often.
Just let the noisy quad bike go.
You know, what's it like parking a 9-metre motorhome?
Can be an absolute pain in the backside. It's
a pain in the arse. It really is a pain in the arse. Yeah.
It can be. It's not all the time.
No, but most of the time
Most of the time it is.
You get to an area, you want to get a bit of shopping or something. The supermarket's got the world's smallest car park. Obviously, they're not made for things like
that.
They're
not, no.
There's no roadside parking.
You've got
you're getting stressed
height
out.
barriers.
You're getting stressed out because there's no other shop.
Yeah.
Pain in the arse.
Men spit the dummy out and drive off, and then you go without things.
Height barriers. People pull up yards because they can't wait. Everybody's in a rush this day and age.
And then people start pipping at you, but you can't physically go anywhere, and then you cause trouble. And
so having a 9-metre motorhome can be a pain in the butt.
It can.
But leads us on to space again. We've got space.
Yeah, which is what we need.
Yes, which is what we need. Well, you can manage without space, but when the weather's rubbish, we've still got space to move around the van.
Yeah, you're not sat on top of each other all day.
Some of the small vans, I mean, we love Volkswagens, but when you get to like the T5s, T6s, the day vans, you go somewhere, you can sleep in it, and then you go outside, you can have a little camping table, cook on there, what have you. But when the weather's rubbish, you're proper.
You're confined.
Sardines in a tin in one. So yes, having a big van can be a little bit limiting.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've got any other questions you'd like to ask, or there's probably loads we've missed, we can do some more of these type of videos. Put them down in the comments, or you can email them us, or you can drop them on Facebook for us.
Yeah, we kind of put this together quite quickly, bearing in mind with the weather and everything today. It's like, you know,
and it's the weekend.
And it's the weekend.
We're not moving today.
No.
We're just sort of staying here. I'm just going to rest me back for another day or two. So it's like getting asked these questions quite a lot. New subscribers coming along, so it's like, let's get a video put together, explaining a few things.
Would you want to just give people a quick background on us, work-wise?
No, that's in other videos. It's all still there, so yeah. So I think we've pretty much covered the questions that I got written down. There's probably loads I've forgot, but like I say, if
we can do another one, can't we?
Yeah, we can.
In future.
We really need to get back onto doing lives again. We did a couple of lives, and we really need to try and get back onto doing a couple of lives again as well. But yeah, I think we
could do a couple from Ireland, to be fair.
Yeah, we probably will do, yeah. But I think we've gone on enough in this one and covered quite a lot.
I just feel like we've just been sat waffling, and then it's like...
Oh, we have.
Right.
But hopefully you've learnt a little bit more, and the new subscribers that are along, you know, welcome to you all. But yeah, that's about it for today. So we want to thank you all for watching, as always. We really do appreciate each and every one of you.
We do.
We love you all to bits. So if you love what you see, don't forget to...
come back next time.
Make sure you subscribed as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.